Man, oh man, these Lions injuries, especially on defense, really starting to pile up.
You are Locked On Lions, your daily Detroit Lions podcast. Part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
All right, here we go, everybody. Another week of Locked On Lions right here on the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day. It's Monday, December 2nd into Tuesday, December 3rd. Matt Derry with you. Thanks for making us your first listen, everybody, and checking us out wherever you get your podcasts. It's Locked On Lions, Locked On Podcast Network. 11-1 Lions, winners of 10 in a row, 8-3 Packers coming up Thursday night. Primetime game again, 10th, or I should say third game in 11 days for the Lions, 12 days. Not going to be an easy game. And the Packers come in red hot. They're on fire. They've played very well. The Vikings don't lose. The Packers don't lose. NFC North outside of the Bears is fantastic, but we welcome you into the program. Thanks for checking us out again, wherever you get your podcasts. Shout out to our everydayers who are out there. I know there's a long list of everydayers who've hit me up on Twitter or Facebook or Blue Sky or Threads, emails. I appreciate all of you. I'm going to do a long list soon of the everydayers that are shouting us out. Appreciate all of you. Locked On Lions today, brought to you by our friends at Game Time. Download the Game Time app, create an account, use the code LOCKEDONNFL for $20 off your first ticket purchase. A lot to get into on the show today. How many injuries? When do we hit the breaking point here with the injuries? This is ridiculous, the amount of guys that are not going to play Thursday against the Packers. We'll get into that. Some new additions, injury report. The Bears president, Kevin Warren, is smack talking here. We got a ton to get to here on Locked On Lions. If you want to be our call of the day, we will have a call of the day soon. But please go to speakpipe.com/Derry podcast page. We'll play one maybe tomorrow. Nick Baumgardner from The Athletic is going to join us tomorrow. Yes, the most hated man in Detroit sports, Mr. Obnoxious, Mr. Trolling, Peter Bukowski, host of Locked On Packers, will join us Wednesday. We'll do the crossover Wednesday because the Lions and Packers will play on Thursday. All right. I don't want Lion fans. I don't want my listeners. I don't want any of you to hate me. I don't want you to dislike me. I don't want you to get mad at me. You were already mad at me weeks ago about the JMO stuff, but seriously, listen to me for a second. Listen, I'm concerned. I'm concerned that you're playing your third game in 12 days. I'm concerned that the defense is just so depleted. You look at the injuries, you hear that Josh Pascal and Levi Onwuzurike probably aren't going to play this week. I mean, go back to August. John Kaminsky, done for the year. September, Marcus Davenport, done for the year. October, Kyle Pecco, done for the year. Aiden Hutchinson, out for the year. Jalen Reese-Maben, injured reserve. Derek Barnes, out for the year. Alex Anzalone, out for most of the year. Ife Melifonwu, injured reserve. Ennis Rakestraw, injured reserve. Levi Onwuzurike, hamstring problem, probably not playing this week. Josh Pascal, knee injury, likely won't play this week. We'll see. Malcolm Rodriguez, injured reserve, done for the year. Mekhi Wingo, injured reserve knee. Carlton Davis, possible for this week. This sucks, man. That's a lot of guys. And Aaron Glenn said today, future head coach Aaron Glenn, defensive coordinator, has done a magnificent job, Aaron Glenn. He said today, the elephant in the room is all the guys we have out. It's a gigantic elephant now. This is just a lot. It's a lot of players out. And yes, Al-Qadim Muhammad, who was with Aaron Glenn in New Orleans years ago, stepped up the other day, had a really good game. Yes, DJ Reader and Aleem McNeil have been so solid. Sure, Jack Campbell's amazing. Brian Branch and Kirby Joseph, to me, are both Pro Bowl players, all pro players. You know, Terrion Arnold hopefully is healthy here. But this is tough. And playing 3 games, less than 2 weeks, and you're looking up now and you're going, all right, no practice on Monday, Josh Pascal. No practice today, Onwuzurike. DJ Reader's got a shoulder problem. How much is too much? Seriously, how much is too much? The Green Bay Packers are really good. Jordan Love's coming in here playing well. And yes, Jordan Love throws the ball to the other team sometimes. But Josh Jacobs and that offensive line are starting to gel. Their tight ends are good with Kraft. Their receivers are good. Is this going to have to be one of those games on Thursday night where the Lions have to score 34, 37 points to win? And it's no knock on Aaron Glenn. He said today, it's all about how we play, how aggressive we are. These players can come in, and we'll talk about Jamal Adams in a second. These players can come in and be aggressive and play our style, and we're going to be okay. And I look up and go, how many more losses from an injury standpoint can this team take? Especially when you had the bye week. The Lions had the bye week way too early after week 4. They could use a bye week now. What are we entering? Week 14? Lions need a bye week, man. Next week, they got to play the Bills. Did you watch the Bills last night in the snow just clobber the 49ers? This is a tough stretch. You're really going to find out about your team. I still think the Lions are winning this division. I'm sorry. Minnesota escaped yesterday. Great job, Vikings. Terrible job, Jonathan Gannon. Going up 6 meant nothing in that game. Dumb move not to go for it on 4th and 5 from the 5. Taking a chip shot field goal to go up 6. You knew the Vikings were coming down the field and scoring a touchdown. You just knew it. And oh, by the way, Arizona on 4th and 6, you might want to double team Justin Jefferson. Why is he catching the ball with space? Oh my God, that drove me crazy. Anyway, I'm concerned about this week. I just think it's another short week. I would have loved it if this game was on Sunday and not Thursday. And I just think it's going to be very difficult to win. Do I think the Lions are better than the Packers? I do. Am I regretting, or am I not regretting? Am I thinking about how annoyed I'm going to be by Peter Bukowski on Wednesday? Yes, I'm dreading it. Sure. Pete's going to be smarmy. We know he is. But Green Bay's healthy and the Lions aren't right now. And I'm just concerned. I hope I'm wrong. I'm going to the game on Thursday. I'm excited. I'm exuberant. It's going to be loud. You guys are going to be great. I'm worried. I just think that's a lot to ask of these guys like Zadarius Smith and Lee McNeil and Reader up front to have to carry the load. Lions are signing 4 guys a day, it seems like, off practice squads. Jamal Adams hasn't played in months. He's coming aboard, and we're going to talk about him in a second. You know, they need Reeves-Maben back. Jalen Reeves-Maben was like the last linebacker on the team. Now we're talking about, Ben Neiman's going to have to play a lot. Jamal Adams, heck, the guy worked out at linebacker today at practice. He's not a linebacker, but the Lions are doing anything just to bring healthy bodies in here. They're scouring the practice squads. Signed 2 Adams in the span of 2 hours. So just a little bit concerning for me. Man, I just hope Carlton Davis is healthy. I really, really hope of that. What was his status for today? Carlton Davis, limited practice, hand and knee. Emmanuel Mosley, full practice today. Thank goodness. All right, coming up next, we will talk about the aforementioned Jamal Adams. We will do that coming up next. The newest Detroit Lion. Lions are dipping into the 2017-2018 All-Pro pool, it seems like. But got to have healthy bodies. We'll do that coming up next. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we have a new sponsor, Locked On Lions fans. I know you're like me and your holiday shopping list, let's just say, far from complete. Hey, who hasn't started their holiday shopping? That's me too. Well, if that's the case, I've got the perfect gift for the passionate sports fan in your life. Perhaps you've heard of IceShaker, the Gronkowski brothers. IceShaker is now officially licensed with the NFL, NHL, NBA, NCAA, and MLB, and will make the ideal gift. Created by and used by the Gronkowski brothers, like I mentioned, IceShakers has sold over 1 million bottles. It is an awesome, awesome Lions water bottle, but it's more than a water bottle. All right. They've changed the game with workout bottles, and this is the gift that you've been looking for. Go to IceShaker.com and use the code LOCKEDONNFL at checkout to save 25% on your order. What is it? Kitchen grade stainless steel bottles that won't absorb odor like the plastic bottles do. All right. Patented twist-in agitator that breaks up powders but is silent when you shake it instead of the annoying ball that's in there. Third-party tested, they'll hold ice for over 30 hours. All right. These things are really, really cool. Got mine upstairs. I will have mine on camera for you tomorrow. I promise you that. IceShakers are awesome. The Lions one is so cool. Order your team branded bottles today at IceShaker.com. Use the code LOCKEDONNFL for 25% off your orders. IceShakers. Show your support for your teams with the best branded workout bottles on the market. Can't wait to take mine to the gym tomorrow. It is IceShakers. And Locked On Lions is sponsored by BetterHelp. Are you thinking about therapy? You're thinking about the holidays and how much stress you might be under? What things make you happy on the holidays? How do you stay cozy during these winter months? For some, wrapping up in a blanket with a mug of hot chocolate or watching a movie with family is the best way to spend the month of December, right? Well, therapy is a great way to bring yourself some comfort too that never goes away even when the season changes. I was talking to a friend today about therapy and how she's going to be going. And I go and I talk to my therapist once every 2 weeks, and I absolutely love it. It makes me feel a lot better. It's good to share your thoughts personally with somebody that is right there down the middle and able to listen. All right. It's positive. If you're thinking about starting therapy, give BetterHelp a try. It's entirely online, designed to be convenient, flexible, and suited to your schedule. Just fill out a brief questionnaire to get matched with a licensed therapist and switch therapists anytime for no additional charge. Find comfort this December with BetterHelp. Visit BetterHelp.com/LockedOn today to get 10% off your first month. That's BetterHelp, HELP.com/LockedOn. So when I saw this come across social media the other day, I thought to myself, why? Why are the Lions doing this? Jamal Adams, who had a very good career with the Jets, a pretty good career with Seattle, and then was with the Tennessee Titans earlier this year on a one-year deal. The former Pro Bowl safety is now a Detroit Lion. Jamal Adams has signed for the remainder of the season. Props to Mike Disner and all the Lions front office personnel, because you've got to have money during the season to spend and be under the salary cap when you've got 16 zillion players, it seems like, on your defense on injured reserve. And so for the Lions to be able to have some money left over for December and part of January, and hopefully it'll run into February, to go out and get a guy that has had very good success. He's only 29, Jamal Adams. The Lions have signed him for the remainder of the year. Adams got hurt in Tennessee earlier this year, requested an injury settlement and a release, and was looking for a contender to sign with. And now that the Lions are basically out of bodies and just need players, they go out and get Jamal Adams. Dan Campbell made it a point to say, look, we can play him as a hybrid. He could be a smallish linebacker like a Jeremiah Owusu-Koramoah, who plays for the Browns, or somebody like that, a Budda Baker type that can fly around the field, can play in the box. He's been a box safety in the past. He's not been great against the pass the last few years. His game has deteriorated from when he was a dominant safety with the Jets. But to go out and get a couple of guys like Quan Alexander, who's played in big games, Jamal Adams, who's played in big games, Jonah Williams, who's played on good teams with the Rams, this is what the Lions have to do. And Adams has kind of been waiting at home for the call. The call came, and now I think there's a good chance, you see him. I don't know if it's going to be this week, but next week against the Bills, possibly, and in kind of this hybrid role. I know a lot of people are saying, well, why would you sign a safety? Well, why not? You need anybody. Dan Campbell joked yesterday that you might as well play him at edge rusher with the way all these injuries are going. But no, seriously, if you know it's a passing situation, he can move up in the box to play some linebacker. You've lost Reeves-Maybin, Barnes, Anzalone, Rodrigo. Who am I missing? They're all gone. This is concerning. But Jamal Adams, at 29, has a little bit left in the tank. And it's a guy that is a good tackler in space, bit of a ball hawk. Again, not great in coverage like he used to be. Has been getting beat deep the last few years. But serviceable, an NFL player, and a guy that can make some plays when need be. But again, it's just the amount of injuries is just so stunning for this defense right now. And look, the Lions have won 10 games in a row. This staff deserves so much credit for keeping this thing together. Did they get a little bit of luck the other day against the Bears? Yes, they did. All right. But you saw a guy like Al-Qadim Muhammad step up and play. And if the Lions thought James Houston could play, which now he's in Cleveland, they wouldn't have cut him. The Lions still want to have the right people and good people in here. And hence why they went out and signed Jamal Adams. Might not fit from we need a safety situation, but a big enough guy that maybe as an undersized linebacker / hybrid safety, you put on the field and he doesn't hurt you. So it's a lot to overcome. Hopefully Onwuzurike or Pascal, one of those two, can play this weekend. This is difficult. Health is a big look at the 49ers, okay? For those of you that go, the Lions have some injuries, so what? They're going to win every game. I go 16-1. Look at the 49ers. They can't win. And last night, Christian McCaffrey sprains his PCL or whatever in the middle of the snow. 49ers have not been the same all year. There's a reason they're 5-7. It's too many injuries. Watch Kirk Cousins play. All right, was banged up earlier this year. He looks rusty. Doesn't look like a guy that is 100%. These teams that lose, Jacksonville was right there in that game with Houston yesterday. Then that kid cheap shots Trevor Lawrence in the head. Of course, the Jags aren't going to score a lot of points with Mac Jones. Lions have dodged bullets. Lions have been great with depth. They've had next man up all year. Guys have stepped up and done a great job. Malcolm Rodriguez was a backup linebacker at the start of the year. He stepped up and stepped in and did great. Unfortunately, now his season's over. But injuries are just a major, major factor with this team right now. And again, like I said, as far as the full injury report, Taylor Decker, knee, missed practice today, missed last week. Will he be ready for this week? Hopefully he is. Pascal Onwuzurike did not practice today. DJ Reader, shoulder injury, did not practice today. Campbell saying he thought Pascal has a better chance to play than Levi this week, but I don't know if the Lions are going to rush these guys back or with the extra days off after this, get them ready for the Buffalo game next Sunday at 4:25. Carlton Davis, again, missed last week after getting injured against the Colts. Hopefully he and Emmanuel Mosley are both back because the Packers' passing attack can get dangerous at times. We know this. Very well. But this is going to be a very entertaining game on Thursday night. And all of a sudden, you look at the top of the NFC and you go, man, Philadelphia is balling. I know Lamar Jackson and the Ravens always find a way to lose in big games, but yesterday afternoon in Baltimore, that was very impressive. Philadelphia going in there and taking care of business and getting now to 10-2. Eagles are legit. Jalen Carter yesterday was just a house wrecker. Man, was he good. He's starting to come into his own. Those Georgia kids with Nakobe Dean and Nolan Smith and Jalen Carter. That's a good team. Cooper DeJean yesterday. Come on. You see that tackle on Derrick Henry. You know I want a big Coop here. Love that guy. And I'm happy with Terrion Arnold. Don't get me wrong. But DeJean can play. All this on the top of the NFC looks pretty darn good. Looks almost better than the AFC at the moment. The Indianapolis Colts, who we saw 2 weeks ago, stink up the joint against the Lions. They're only, a game back of Denver for that last playoff spot in the AFC? What a job by Anthony Richardson yesterday on that 2-point play. But Philly looks dangerous. Minnesota keeps winning. Packers have been winning. It's going to be a very interesting game on Thursday night. All right, the Bears are at it again. Their team president, Kevin Warren, who used to work here in Detroit, just had some idiotic comment that I'm jumping to talk about. We'll do that coming up next. All right, folks, Lions 3.5-point favorites on FanDuel as they take on the Packers on Thursday. Get ready to tackle all the NFL action with FanDuel, America's #1 sportsbook, because right now new customers can bet $5 and get $150 in bonus bets if you win. The FanDuel Sportsbook app gives you everything you need to place live bets on the NFL all in one place. When you get a hunch in the middle of the game, you can check out the latest stats, view live play-by-play, and so much more on the same page where you place your bets. Go to FanDuel.com, FanDuel.com to join today. You'll get started with $150 in bonus bets if you win your first $5 bet. That's FanDuel.com. Never waste a hunch. Make every moment more with FanDuel, the official sports book partner of the NFL. And hey, you looking for tickets for Thursday night's game against the Green Bay Packers? You can get those tickets on Game Time, best app to get yourself tickets to anything. I'm not just talking about sports, concerts, shows, whatever you're looking for. Game Time has a new feature called Game Time Picks that makes getting tickets to see your favorite teams play live even easier. Game Time Picks filters out the fluff, show you only incredible deals on great seats, so you don't have to waste your time searching through thousands of tickets. All right, this Thursday night. Come on, Thursday Night Football. Who's not going to want to be down at Ford Field? That place is going to be off the charts fun. Get your tickets now at Game Time. Download the Game Time app, create an account, use the code LOCKEDONNFL for $20 off your first purchase. Terms apply. Again, create an account, redeem the code LOCKEDON NFL for $20 off. Download Game Time today. What time is it? Game time. All right, so as we all know, Matt Eberflus is out of a job in Chicago. The Bears have fired him. Reports out of Chicago say that team president Kevin Warren, who did a lot of nothing in Detroit and Minnesota when he was there, is apparently taking over, and he's going to lead the search for the new coach. Whatever happened to Chef Poles? Remember when Chef Poles got the job and said, we're going to own the NFC North? The NFC North is going to belong to the Chicago Bears, and of course it hasn't. They're in last place, and they've lost 6 games in a row. They're 4-8. So Kevin Warren, who was the Big Ten commissioner and did help with expansion, has been the president of the Bears. People that are in the know that this guy is in over his head. But Kevin Warren was holding a press conference today to talk about the firing of Matt Eberflus. By the way, they fired him 90 minutes after his press conference that same day. Couldn't have fired him before that. And Thomas Brown, the offensive coordinator, is the interim head coach. Bears president Kevin Warren today on Chicago's head coaching search this offseason. Quote, this will be the most coveted job in the NFL this year. End quote. Says who? How do you know, Kev? The Bears? When have the Chicago Bears, other than 1985, done anything in the last 40 years? Oh, but they made the Super Bowl under Rex Grossman and Lovie Smith. That is true. Something the Lions have not done. All right, I'll give you that. What about the Jay Cutler era? Should we talk about Mark Trestman? Matt Nagy? Matt Eberflus? The McCaskey family and the people that run the Bears run a clown show. How is Eberflus even coaching against the Lions Thanksgiving Day, let alone still having his job the next day, holding his press conference. And then 90 minutes later, they fired him anyway. They fired the offensive coordinator, Shane Waldron, a month ago. The Bears, always Bears. They're a joke. And to sit here and say on November or December 2nd, our job's the most coveted job in the league. Hey, Caleb Williams is good. No question about it. We're starting to see some improvement. DeAndre Swift is coming on. Their offense looks decent. Their defense is not bad. But out loud saying we're going to have the most coveted job because we're the Bears. The Bears are never good, ever. This year was supposed to be the year they were going to sneak into the playoffs. I can't say it's the most coveted job. Now, would I want the Jets job? No. Would I want the Saints position? Probably not. But let's say somehow the Saints got the number one pick. Let's say the Giants got the number one pick, and you could get Shedeur Sanders or somebody of that ilk. That becomes a pretty solid job if you're able to get the quarterback of the future that you want. Cam Ward, that guy's great. He's going to be an excellent pro. What have you got him? Caleb Williams, we saw it firsthand the other day at the corner of Brush and Adams. He did a nice job. But that's a lot of heavy lifting, that Bears job. Maybe Ben Johnson will take the Bears job. Maybe. I hope not, but maybe. Maybe Ben Johnson's just the guy to turn Caleb Williams into what Jared Goff is doing. Maybe Aaron Glenn takes the Bears job. I don't know. But there's going to be some other jobs out there. So to sit here and go, we definitely know it's the most coveted job this offseason. You're the Bears. Kevin Warren didn't just get there either. He's been there a couple of years. How's that going? I think there's going to be some other jobs out there that are going to be more coveted. What if the Cincinnati Bengals fire Zach? What if the Browns? Well, Browns job's pretty bad. Trying to think off the top of my head other openings that could happen. What if the Bills gag in the first round of the playoffs? You don't think Sean McDermott wouldn't be in trouble if, let's say, the Bills were the 2 seed and lost to the 7 seed? What if Denver went into Buffalo and won? That Bills job would be pretty damn coveted. You'd have Josh Allen and that fan base. Just saying. All right, that'll do it for Locked On Lions. Nick Baumgardner tomorrow from The Athletic, and the most hated man, the most villainous man in Detroit, Peter Bukowski, Locked On Packers on Wednesday.